Fort Worth. This is Tyrone King, your candidate for the Fort Worth City Council District 8. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's edition of Tuesdays with Tyrone. So this week, I'll be telling you what my platform is for Fort Worth. And my platform is simply healing Fort Worth. Because our community is hurting right now. And we need healing. But in this sense, healing is an acronym for having every available leader impact the next generation. Now let me say that again so I don't want you to miss it. If there is going to be healing in our city, it's going to require having every available leader impact the next generation. I mean, because like I said, Fort Worth, we're hurting right now. We just went through this storm, and people are hurting because of that. Stack that on top of a pandemic that we've been going through for over a year. People are hurting. They've lost their jobs, lost their homes. People are hurting right now. And you take both of those, and then you stack those on top of our fractured race relations in our city. And people are hurting. And we have been hurting for well over a year now. A year and a half since that tragic murder of that young woman, Tatiana Jefferson. And I'm really concerned right now, Fort Worth. And that's one of the reasons I'm running, because there's going to be a trial coming up within the next few months or so. And what happens, Fort Worth, if former Officer Dean is found not guilty? What happens to a community? What do you tell a community when they don't feel safe in their own homes? And that's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm concerned about, Fort Worth. So what is it that we can do right now so that we don't have to worry about what happens later on? Now is the moment for us to be proactive instead of being reactive. Let's do something, put something in place ahead of time. So if by chance that happens, then we will be prepared for that. And that's what my platform is, healing our city. And we began the process, I believe. Now, I think it's a good thing. And let me say this right now. I mentioned Tatiana. But I want to say right now, because I know how some people are, they're quick to jump on things and say, oh, well, he's doing this for political gain. He's running on. No, I would never do that, ever. Because this being elected city councilman is not my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal is bringing about healing in our city. And that's what I think we need to start doing. And one of the things we can do, I think it's great that we named part of Allen Avenue after Tatiana. But right now, Allen Avenue, Tatiana Jefferson Boulevard, leads to homelessness, it leads to crime, it leads to drug abuse. And I just think that's a terrible legacy to leave for such a promising young woman. So what I think we should do, I think we should name that whole district from Allen Avenue down to Yuma, down to Fabens by the Grand Theater of Rosedale and back up to Evans Avenue. We should name that whole district the Jefferson District, the Jefferson's Arts District, modeled very much after the Bishop Arts District in Dallas, where we bring arts in the community. We refurbish the Grand Theater and bring arts back to our community. And then we can use that to do outreach programs with our youth, not only in District 8, but throughout our city. And we can do that by having this formation of a STEAM program. And when I say STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, to reach out to our youth. And like I said, not just in District 8, it may start in District 8, but eventually it will reach out to every part of our community, and everybody will be able to benefit from it. And then once we're able to do that, then we bring in economic development. We first of all start to strengthen the businesses that are already there. And then after we're able to do that, then we do what we can to bring in more businesses. Incentive programs. If you move to our community, then make their funding available to open a business, to purchase a home. And then that way we can do like the 7th Street corridor. We can do like downtown. We can do like the cultural district, because then we'll be able to work, live, and play in the same community, Fort Worth. And like I said, it may start in District 8, but everybody will be able to benefit from it, because once we get these outreach programs for our at-risk youth ages grades 6 through 12, then any other arts organization will be able to benefit from it. Because once we set up this Healing Fort Worth Fund, then any arts organization that has a viable outreach program would be eligible for funding. And I mean, 3 come to mind right away. Of course, Jubilee Theater, my home, where I started my acting career. I would love to reach out, work in conjunction with Jubilee with their outreach program, so they would be eligible for funding. Stage West, with what Dana is doing over there. She has an outreach program that's doing great things over there. Fort Worth Opera and their new artistic director has had a great, wonderful, wonderful outreach program that they're doing. Arts Fifth Avenue and what Eddie Dunlap is doing over there with Mondo Drummers, and on and on and on. See, Fort Worth, what I'm saying? I mean, this is not just limited to District 8. And we can do this, Fort Worth, if we begin the healing process. Now I know that when it comes to that tragic situation with the Tatiana that happened, that our city is divided right down the middle. Half of our city believes that what former Officer Dean did was just egregious. Everything he did was wrong. It should not have happened. But then on the other side, there are a lot of people that may agree, yeah, what he did was wrong. Protocols that he should have followed, he didn't. But in that moment, he was in a bad part of town. He saw a gun. He feared for his life. He had no choice but to make that decision. But one thing I believe we can all agree on, Fort Worth, no matter which side of the fence you're on, it should not have happened. It should not have happened. And if we can't come together to agree on that, what can we do, Fort Worth? I say, let's come together, let's establish this Jefferson District, let's establish our Healing Fort Worth Fund, and let's go about healing our city. And like I said earlier, healing is going to require having every available leader impact the next generation. Now, next week, I'll talk about what it costs and how we go about funding it. But right now, think about it, Fort Worth. Are you willing? Are you ready to start healing? You're a leader. We're going to need you to step up, do your part in healing our city. Thank you so much, Fort Worth, for listening this week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Looking forward to talking to you again next week on our segment of Tuesdays with Tyrone. Thank you, Fort Worth. I love you. God bless you, and God bless our city.